Hi, I'm Karolina Schmid from Studio Pilates Swiss, and I'm going to be working out on a Nubium machine from Elina Pilates. I'm going to be looking at some of the coolest exercise and some of the features on your Nubium machine. If your Nubium machine has arrived and you're setting up, you'll have two features: the short feet or the long feet that I've chosen. Now, the long feet down here have a little white wheel, and a great feature about that wheel is that you can pick up these machines quite easily and roll them to another part of the studio. The short feet are kind of cool because a lot of clients prefer to work closer to the floor, or if you prefer, you actually can stack the Nubium, although it's not part of the official program that Elina Pilates has suggested. So Eve's Lunge, a classical Pilates exercise that we do, is going to be affected by the height of the machine. It's also going to be affected by how you align your body. And thirdly, it will be affected by the spring tension. On the Elina Nubium machine, I'm going to be working with a yellow spring. And interestingly enough, that's going to be the hardest setting, even though the yellow spring is the easiest. Remember, your reformer training on the Nubium is based on assistance versus resistance. And in this case, I have little assistance, making me have to work harder. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up for our Eve's Lunge. I'm going to break this exercise into 3 different segments. I'm going to be using the visceral breath. And what I want you to do is come next to your machine and lift your body up, long, and away. I'm on a diagonal and I've got my knee right over my heel. And I'm going to just stay here for a moment and let the weight drop into my heel, trying to feel the activity in this glute muscle down here. My chest is out, and I'm just going to slowly bend the knee, opening the machine. I'm going to lift my chest up and push into the ground. Now I'm doing an inhale as I go down. Maybe you can see my abdominals relax. And then I'm going to exhale first, stabilizing with the local muscles before I come up. And as I go down, because I'm diagonal forward, these muscles have to work. Were I to be super upright, I would have more focus in my quads. So the second part of the Eve's Lunge, I'm going to go horizontal back. I'm going to exhale first, and using that visceral staggered breath, I'm going to come forward. Inhale back, straight, that your femur is horizontal. Exhale first, and then come forward. You might want to roll the knee out slightly, that these muscles, the abductors, have to work. I'm going to inhale back. And in that diagonal spinal position, I'm going to come forward. Now I'm going to put all of the movements together. I'm going to exhale forward. When my knee is over the heel, I'm going to push into that heel, activating the glute. I'm thinking that my heel is pulling my body forward, so that hamstring has to work. And I'm going to do 2 more times. Inhaling in axial elongation, I relax my stomach. Scoop first, staggered breath, and push up. Inhale back, exhale, scoop first, staggered breath, and push up. The good thing about doing these type of diagonal chains, like we do in yoga when we do a warrior lunge, on your reformer, they're unstable, revving up your proprioception. And this is one of the first cool exercises I'm showing today on the Elina Nubium. So I'm back again on my Elina Pilates Nubium Reformer. And I'm going to be talking about certain features and certain cool exercises that you can try with your clients. And I'm going to start with the beginning of the rowing series front. So on the Elina machine, we have a double loop. Traditionally, the double loop, the long one is for the feet and the short one is for the hands. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to take it off or shorten it. I just grab onto the small one, and I'm going to sit up nice and tall. On the Elina machine, there are these little posts for your ropes, your hand straps, and you want to sit up nice and tall. Now, this one is where a lot of your clients or a lot of folks who are really tight in their hamstring or less flexible in the back chain will have troubles. So you have the opportunity to ask your clients to bend their knees a little bit, or this whole sequence can be done in a crossed leg position. But I'm pretty flexible in the back of my legs, so I'm going to be doing the first 3 segments of the rowing series front with my legs extended. So I'm sitting up super tall. I'm going to use the shoulder post, just kind of feel where I'm stable. I'm lifting my chest. I'm in axial elongation. I'm just leaning ever so slightly forward. On the inhale, I'm going to relax my abdominals. On the exhale, I'm going to scoop first. And when the stability is there, I'm going to take my arms forward to present. Now, I want to be careful to keep tension on the ropes. That's one of the things I want to maintain. I'm working on a light spring. I tend to work on a light spring. The next one I'm going to do is called Hug a Tree. And now the lever is higher. You can see I'm doing the staggered breath. And I want to think of my abdominals as drawing flat and in as I lift my pelvic floor and sink my ribs. And I'm hugging a big Canadian tree. Here's the last one. I'm going to keep my arms forward. I'm going to pop my fingertips over my shoulders, shoulders down, elbows up, and it's shave the head. And so by working on the shoulder strap, the hand strap, I'm in just enough tension and just enough alignment. Maybe you can see I'm already shaking because it's a big stability challenge, keeping the shoulders down and working from the core. I'm not a big fan of loading on heavy-duty springs because in general, people start to work with their global muscles and ignore the little local muscles, let the global ones dominate. And the other thing that happens is when you've got too heavy springs, you start to lose that alignment. So I'm back on my Elina Nubium Reformer, and I'm going to talk about the shoulder posts. The shoulder posts have different distances depending on what your client might need to do. There are certain clients who might need a shoulder post that's a bit wider depending on how they grew. So the way to pop them in on the Nubium machine is you can just let them float right in to the carriage, and that way when you're doing your sequence, when you're working out, you're not going to waste any time. Now I'm going to keep my shoulder post there because I'm going to put my toes up against my shoulder post. And I'm going to leave my foot bar down. Maybe you can see my foot bar is down because I'm going to be working with my hands on the standing platform. So today, I'm going to put my feet right next to the shoulder posts. If you have a client who would prefer, you can place your feet wherever it's comfortable. And you want to have a little bit of assistance. So on the Nubium, I'm working on 2 medium springs, a green and a yellow. Now watch, I'm going to tuck my toes under, and then I'm going to take my body into an easy plank. With the easy plank, I'm in axial elongation. You should have just enough tension on the spring that you feel supported, but not like you're being slammed forward. So on the inhale, I'm going to go back, taking the shoulders behind my hands. And then on the exhale, I'm going to scoop first and use that last little drop of breath to go forward. On the inhale, I'm going to dare to go a little bit wider. And then on the exhale, I'm going to scoop and come forward. Now be careful. Those of you who teach Pilates and yoga or core, you know that people forget their neck during planks. So here, axial elongation, chin up, chest out, back of the head is in head float position, is the best strategy for your plank. Now stay with me. I'm just going to drop my toes down and I'm going to walk my feet forward a bit. And as I open the machine into the plank, I've got a little bit more tension. Inhaling to prepare. Exhale, I'm going to scoop first, and then I'm going to push into that plank. And I'm going to do 3 staggered pikes. Inhale down. Exhale first. Scoop. Ears between the biceps. One more time. Staggered pike. And I'm going to take my knees down, and there I've done a little stability sequence with my Nubium Elina Reformer. So you've gotten yourself your Nubium Reformer from Elina Pilates. I'm going to show you how to set up your jump board and a couple cool jump board exercises just to get you in the mood for your Nubium. So your Nubium comes with a big, wide standing place. On this one, you haven't got any rough surfaces. The rough surfaces are good on reformers that have standing plates with rough surfaces. But this one, you'll never have that problem of the rough surface starting to look like an old yoga mat after a while. So this one stays nice and tidy. You just lift it up and put it out of the way. I like to be in the habit of bringing all auxiliary equipment out of the way so there's nobody going to bump their toe on the standing platform. And you can see that the foot bar is ready for me to set up my jump board. Now let me just jump board with you, setting it up together. So I'm going to squeeze the pins and lift it up, and you can eyeball it that the two holes where the jump board is supposed to go is right behind the foot bar. So here I've stored my jump boards from all my reformers out of the way, and then I'm going to pop the jump board into my supporting plate, and I'm going to screw the little screws in, giving myself a nice secure hold on that jump board. So not only have I got the little wheels supporting my jump board, but I also have the supporter bar, the foot bar supporting the jump board. So the cool thing about the jump board, it's plyometrics. Plyometrics are those big things that we did in gym class where you're using the absorption of those big quadricep muscles to absorb the impact. And so I like to do my jump board. I've got 2 springs here, and I'm going to do 1 or 2 little jump board variations to get you in the mood for using your jump board. So I've got my chest up, and I'm just going to take my body long on the mat. I'm going to jump away, and I'm just going to absorb with my legs. Jump and absorb. So what I'm doing is I'm going to breathe out on the effort. Now what you want to make sure you're doing is you want to make sure you're not slamming your body. If you find your clients are moving the machine across the room, it's because they're not absorbing with their big quadricep. Here comes our sequence. We're going to jump away twice, and it's like a jeté, and then we're going to jump and tap the heels twice, and we're going to jump on one leg twice. We want a really explosive, and we're going to jump on the other leg twice, and then we're going to do singles. So we're going to do one tap, 1 time right, and 1 time left, and we have our jump board sequence.